Hello everyone, my name is Steven, and today I will be giving a walkthrough on the machine titled SQL in Hack the Box. And so this machine consists of a poorly configured MySQL database that we'll actually gain access to. And so once you're connected to the machine, we're going to copy this IP address here, and then we can open up a new terminal. And once this is open, we're going to start with enumeration. So we're going to see what ports are running on this IP address. So we're going to start, we can type in sudo nmap-sv, which is basically to detect the versions of the services running on the machine, and then also -sc, which is a default set of scripts. And you only want to really run this flag if you have permission on a network because it is intrusive. So after the SC, we're going to paste the IP address for the machine and click enter. And then we're going to enter the administrator password and hit enter again. And that's going to start the Nmap scan, and it should just take a couple minutes here. All right, and time skip. So the Nmap scan is all finished, and there's a lot of text here, but we can basically skip all down, and we're going to want to start looking at the port section. And so we'll see one port open. It's going to be port 3306, and we could see the service information. So it's going to be MySQL, and this is the version running on it here. And basically, MySQL is a service, and it allows you to create and manage databases. And we can actually install it on our system and use it to gain access to the database on here on the machine. Okay, so first off, we're going to want to install MySQL. So if you don't know if you haven't installed on your machine or not, you could still run this command. So we're going to type in sudo apt update, two and symbols, and then sudo apt install MySQL. And then we're going to put a star at the end, and that's going to include all the related packages for MySQL. We can enter here. We'll start updating that, and I already have it installed, so there wasn't really anything to install at all. And then if you want to verify afterwards, you can type in MySQL --help. And this will pull up a list of commands that you can use, but we'll skip over that for now. All right, and so MySQL clients, they'll authenticate with a username and a password, but sometimes if the database isn't configured correctly, you can sign into it using only a username and no password. So we're going to try that right now to see if that works. So we're going to type in MySQL, and then we're going to type -h, that's for the host, and then we're going to paste the IP address of the machine, and then we're going to hit space and then a -u, that's to specify the username. So we're going to type in root, and we're going to hit enter here. And this might take a second. Okay, so now if you use that command, you might get this error here. It'll say TLS/SSL error. And so if this happens to you, then we can just go back, click the up arrow, go back to our last command, and at the end here, we'll append another flag. We'll do --skip -SSL, and this will basically bypass SSL certificate verification. And then we can enter here. And then we'll wait a second, and this should log us into the system, into the database. All right, so it looks like we're in now. So we have access to the command line. And let's just start by seeing what sort of databases we have. So we can type in show and then databases, and then we have to add the semicolon here. So you have to add the semicolon after every command on here. And then we can hit enter. Okay, so here we have the databases. So we have HTTP, information schema, MySQL, and performance schema. Okay, so let's start by looking at this first database here. So we're going to type in use HTTP and then the semicolon, and this is basically going to select the database. We can hit enter. Okay, And so we changed databases, and you could tell by the name of the database in these little brackets here. And then, so once we're in the database, we're going to want to see what kind of tables it has. So we're going to type in show tables and then the semicolon, enter. Okay, so we see, so there's two tables in this database. So we have config and users. Okay, so once we do that, we could start looking through the contents of these two tables. So we could just start here with the users. Let's just check what's in there. So we'll hit select star, which stands for all. So select all. We want all the entries from the users table. So we'll type in this command here with the semicolon at the end. Hit enter. Okay. And we get the contents of the table. So it looks like username, emails. So this isn't really helpful for us at the moment. And so we can go back. We can look back up here to the other table, which was config. So we'll type in select all from config to see what's in this table. Okay, so we got a little bit more stuff in here now. So if we look down, boom, there's the flag, and there's a value for the flag. So this basically concludes the machine. So we completely pwned it. So we can copy this. So Control-Shift-C, copy the flag from there, and then enter it here at the bottom. And yeah, that should be all for this walkthrough.